Hey everyone, welcome to the horror show. I'm Cecil Laird.
Bienvenidos a Final Fuego.
Derk Fuego.
And we are here to do our spoiler discussion
Spoilers.
for The Nun.
Yes.
AKA The Conjuring presents Tales from the Crypt's Demon Knight. Because, yes, it is totally, guys, the whole fucking final bit, the denouement, was from Demon Knight. Okay, here's the thing.
I don't even remember that.
Okay, let me explain. Let me explain.
Don't even remember it.
Hush, hush, little Durkee, don't say a word. Okay. Guys, here's the deal.
I'll give you your moment.
Thank you. After you interrupt me, son of a bitch!
Can I finish?
Okay. Can I finish?
Okay.
Can I finish? Okay, finish. All right. So here we go, guys. The deal is, Valak is released in this abbey, this nun's abbey. We'll get into that. But the way they close it, the way they close the rift, is a part that Derk really liked. Go ahead, Derk. Tell the scene that I'm talking about, because that's the origin of the blood. So go ahead.
Right. Well, there was a moment where there's this fucking guy that actually conjures this creature, Valak.
Well, this abbey, before it was an abbey for the nuns, was a place where people were trying to raise a demon.
Right.
Super
yeah, it was like a
man.
castle for this fucking almost.
Oh, and they had all the corpses hanging upside down and
draining the blood into the pentagram. It was 5 corpses. It was the 5 points of the pentagram.
Right.
It was dope.
Ah, good point.
Oh, I
didn't even think of that. And this is the guy who didn't like the movie.
I've never attended one of these ceremonies before in my life.
Dun, dun, dun.
When I saw the candles, though, man, I totally knew that they were forming the pentagram.
Oh, see, I did. Once they started, I was like, oh shit!
And
but I think
the portal.
I think they lit 6,
scene.
and there should have been 5. But
and
okay,
that scene with
I'll let it go.
Tysa was so dope, though. The way they framed it with the above shot, looking down, her, the white in the center, and the black candles, like the black candles were the black, and then when they whoosh, and the cracks, and then when they smacked all of those nuns.
You remember, Jaime, when I said didn't they say that they were supposed to do a vow of silence and everything?
And so, that they were talking the entire time. So that was actually a really good clue. Because I thought that was poor scripting, and then it all made sense.
Because they weren't there!
Yeah, but once again,
it's all in her head!
Lapses in character logic.
Alright, well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Okay, so yeah, we do find out that all the nuns that Tysa is interacting with, once she actually enters,
they're all dead.
They've never been there. They've all been ghostly, whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't remember. What was I going to that I wanted
to
talk
about? How much you hated the Knights.
Okay, yeah. So there was this sorcerer guy who was about to raise this fucking demon, which is Valak. The Knights of Templar fucking busted.
Back in the day with the Crusades.
Yeah, and then there's almost like a fucking priest what are they called, the clerics or whatever? Yeah. And so he comes in.
I'll give it to him.
And then and he has the fucking Jesus blood, man. He's got the blood of Christ.
And actually, it did look cooler. This is what I'm talking about. This is directly ripped from Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight.
Okay, well, it's effects from 20+ years ago. I would hope it looks better now.
Well, what I'm saying is, because in the other one it was just a cross with blood in it in Demon Knight, and what they would do is they would pour a drop of blood, and it would make a boundary that the demons couldn't cross.
Now I want to go watch Demon Knight.
It's such a good movie. I love that movie.
Jason Smith proclaims that is the best thing Tales from the Crypt has ever done.
I agree. I 100% agree.
Just might be.
But anyway, so this is actually like a globe, a crystal globe, like a glass globe, with the cross with the blood in it.
Yeah.
So they just put a globe around it, essentially. Yeah. But it did look cool. I will say it looked cool. And so the guy uses the blood to seal the rift and trap Valak once again.
Right.
And so the nuns come in, the Christians come in, because the Templar Knights allow for them to come in, and they take over, and the nuns come in and basically start doing prayers 24/7.
Yeah,
and they'll just do shifts, sitting there on their knees praying in order to keep the rift closed.
Keep it subdued.
So I liked that.
I thought that was
cool.
And then I thought it was interesting that they bring up that war had brought the rift
that was a
cool
rift.
World War II.
World War II.
Yeah, I did like that. I agree.
Bombs
Although, did you notice they cut before any of the bombs hit? Like they didn't want to pay for the explosions.
They look so CGI.
The bombs were dropping on the castle, and then they cut before any explosions happened. Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute, guys. What are you trying to pull here?
They were like cutting to back inside the castle and showing the cracking.
Like, yeah, ooh, people shaking and shit. But nonetheless,
the beat that you thought was just like
okay, let's just get to it. It's the final bit of it's the final confrontation.
The nun being vanquished,
The nun being vanquished. So it's actually kind of cool, right? So let's just do the end.
I thought that scene was awesome.
Well, go ahead. Tell what happens leading up to the water. Tell what happens leading up to the water.
Well,
the confrontation leading up to the water.
Well, I mean, Taissa is basically possessed.
Right.
By
so Frenchie shows up.
Yeah.
Right. Frenchie shows. Isn't it Frenchie we're following? It's Frenchie and the priest.
Yeah, they're both basically going into the lower catacomb area of this.
And they find Taissa mid smooth criminal dance. Right?
Yeah.
Because she's leaning all the way forward. No, forward though.
Yeah.
That's why it's smooth criminal. She's leaning forward. And she's got, the Jesus ball.
Okay, so she was doing like the... Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. But she's been possessed by the nun. Because this whole time, Valak is just looking for a vessel in order to escape the area.
Which I was honestly surprised, because I thought that, it was going to end up being in Taissa, and that's how things were going to go. I was kind of surprised.
I thought that would have been too easy of an ending.
Really? You think so?
I
sometimes
did
the most on the nose is
Well,
the
why
most
don't you tell everyone how it... Dirk, you want to tell everyone how it actually ended and how it does tie into the other movies? We're jumping around in the spoiler discussion, but we'll get to
it. It happened. Sorry.
Well, there was that one moment where you think that, Taissa, has drowned. And, you were like, oh, that's the only way to defeat.
Okay, but before we get there...
I leaned over to you and I said that, too.
Before we get there, they have to try and fight Taissa as Valak for just a second, and she attacks
she starts
Frenchie.
Doing the Frenchie.
Yeah, and he's up against the pillar, and she comes up ready to. She has the shotgun. She's got the shotgun right underneath his chin. And he reaches down and gets some Jesus blood and smears it on her face.
Oh yeah.
And that's what gets the nun. That's what gets Valak out of Taissa Farmiga's body.
Right.
That was kind of cool. And then the nun just goes whoosh, and Taissa Farmiga goes flying back into the actual chamber where there's water now?
For whatever. Well, it's really deep down in the catacomb-y whatever thingy. Sure.
Yeah, okay, you're excusing it.
Yeah.
But anyway, she falls in the water, which of course washes off the Jesus blood. Yeah. But that's what brings the nun in, and that's what does the Mortal Kombat sound, where when the nun rises out of the water, you hear, oh.
And she's doing the crazy, just floating right there above the water.
Which
I thought that was a cool shot.
It is, because she's walking on water. Yeah. The devil is walking on water. I thought that was interesting. I'm like, okay. But then, so Taissa has the Jesus blood, and Valak goes and tries to strangle her and drown her, which I guess the character has to die in order for Valak to take the body. I'm guessing that's what has to happen.
I don't necessarily think so.
Well, then why was she trying to strangle her?
Because Frenchie ends up with Valak.
Yeah. Oh, that's true, because it doesn't matter if it's Taissa or not. Yeah. Okay, so she tries to strangle... Well, we're about to get there. She's strangling her, and Taissa, you see her bring the vial up to her mouth, and I'm like, you motherfuckers, don't you do the exact same fucking thing! Don't you do it! Don't you do it! And so Valak raises her.
I didn't even see her do that.
She does. She puts it to her mouth.
I didn't even see that.
I just thought, and I leaned over to Dirk, and I'm like, she's gonna spit the blood.
Are you kidding me? She absolutely. She has it under the water, and she puts it to her mouth.
I didn't
see that part.
Oh my god, 100%.
I didn't see it.
She did. I hate you both.
Sorry.
No, it absolutely
is this real
happens.
Life?
She look. This is another is she floating in Hereditary situation where all the commenters, 90% of the commenters came and agreed with me that she was floating. She was not. Okay, anyway.
This
is one of those situations. She did
Castle
put it
Rock
to her mouth.
Where Sissy Spacek's jumping.
Exactly. Yeah.
What?
So she puts it to her mouth, and then Valak, after drowning her, raises her up out of the water, and Taissa's just like. And I'm like, you're gonna do it! You're gonna fucking copy the movie, aren't you?
She appeared dead, though. And you were led to believe she was dead. Even though everybody knew she was playing possum. We all knew it. Yeah. That's why I call it.
So she, of course, does what Jada Pinkett Smith does in Demon Knight. And she spits Jesus' blood in the face of Valak. And then we get some kind of cool CG where Valak's face is melting and she's pulling parts of her jaw apart.
Maybe
and then Valak flushes. Literally, flushed Valak down the tubes with the
that,
water.
I thought that looked awesome.
Oh, it looked okay, but they were flushing Valak down a toilet.
I thought Valak, like the decomposing and the body kind of falling apart looked cool.
But when you think about it, they're flushing her down a drain.
Yeah.
Well, it was like a portal opens up and it
yeah,
traps
but they
her.
flushed her.
And well, the thing is too,
is that
turd. Christ's blood gets in the water, and that's how it's able to.
That's how it seals the hole. Which I do agree. That was cool because as soon as the drop of blood fell in the water, it like clouded out and started spreading. I was like, ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Again,
and then
3 or 4 moments.
I loved all the moments with the fucking priest while all that shit is going on, where
snake?
while he's like fighting the boy,
yeah,
you know.
Oh yeah. Okay, go ahead, tell the boy story.
Yeah, so this is one thing that
there's a priest and a boy story.
Oh jeez. So towards the beginning, there's a great character building moment with the priest where he tells a story about an exorcism that he did.
The best thing
and
ever
like
seen.
the boy does not survive. And so this boy is constantly haunted him ever since. And so now it's like taken like a physical form because Valak is like literally everything that's fucking going crazy right now in this in the story is Valak. Like he's bringing all these phantoms and nuns with no faces and stuff. Yeah. And so I thought that
Blackface nun, which we actually took a picture with, which I'll drop right here.
Me too.
And
or will I? Mystery.
And I thought that was interesting how they like when they were describing Valak, they say that like he was like king of the serpents or whatever. And and then it shows like the snakes in the book and stuff like that. And so
makes me wonder how much of that is grounded in actual like lore and mythology.
Well, the serpent thing had nothing to do with Valak in the last movie. The serpent thing was brand new this time.
Well, yeah, they were expanding upon the backstory of this.
They were trying.
So I mean, it was an afterthought. So it was reshoots, right?
That's
in
true.
the Conjuring
Well, you know what? That's true. I can't be too hard on a movie that is based on a character that was added at the last minute. That's true.
Yeah, it was.
I will give you that.
So I don't know. I totally dug like the snake coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And then
that happened a few times though.
Yeah, but that's what led to other things.
I'm not saying it wasn't effective every time. I'm just saying it happened a few times.
And then,
again,
and then there was this
they
really
leaned on things
interesting
that were
thing
effective.
That like I'm assuming if they do a sequel, if this movie's successful,
it's whole idea successful. It's going to be. All these movies are successful.
We need to work on you staying in the light, Dirk.
All the controversy.
Well, the thing that I really dug was that like the snake bites the priest on the face, but he bites in the eye.
Yeah.
And so like he's blind in that eye, but like you see like this like murkiness of his eye,
cloudiness,
yeah, and I almost feel like it's like trapping evil inside, and I'm assuming that may.
And you thought that the Malik or Valak or whatever was going to be in him because of the bite. You even never said that to me.
I thought that,
and it ends up in Frenchie because of the name drop. We haven't mentioned the name drop.
Go ahead, Fuego. This is yours.
Well, and this is something since it's been so long since I've seen the original Conjuring.
I had forgotten about it too.
Yeah,
it actually ties into the original Conjuring, not the Conjuring 2.
Now, was that scene from the original, or was that a brand new scene?
No, that was from the Conjuring.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing that they did to like kind of put that together was that like they did flashes of that actor. Like that was
Maurice, right?
Yeah. Of
this new Maurice.
Now, this is something that Dirk and I were debating as we walked out. Was Taissa the young version of her sister? Do you think that they tied that in? That maybe those were her experiences?
Yeah, no, I think so because that was the picture that they were looking at.
That's what we thought.
They implied it,
but they didn't like directly connect the dots.
Not directly.
Yeah, but they left you to kind of infer.
Well, maybe their names are the same, and I don't remember.
Well, they are sisters in real life.
Yeah, they're sisters in real life,
and they do have about 20 years between them.
Did Vera come? Was that Vera? In that one scene where she was in the middle of the dark room, like screaming, like I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be Taissa or Vera. It might have been Taissa. It did look like Vera, didn't it?
It did look well. It looked like Taissa like right at the very end when they did the little flash, and it was like she was standing there having the remembrance, and that's why I'm pretty sure that they are the same character.
Well,
just 20-something years. That quick little flash where she was remembering the footage and maybe having been there and maybe remembering.
No. She's not Vera Farmiga's character.
Yeah, I think she is.
So, really?
Yeah, we think Taissa is. Taissa is the young version of Vera's Warren character.
Yeah.
Well, no, he had her name. He called her.
What was it?
Sister
Irene.
Yeah, but maybe she takes her husband's name, Warren.
Warren. I don't know.
They might.
What do you guys think? After you've watched
I don't think so.
No, you don't?
I don't think so. Because it was 1943 or something.
No, it was the 50s.
Yeah,
late
50s. It's 1952, and then the
and
Conjuring
you think
movies
that between
take
1950 and they take place when?
In the 70s.
70s.
Yeah, the mid-70s. So
and the two sisters are like around 20 years difference in age.
18 years apart.
Okay. All right.
It's a maybe.
It's a maybe.
It's a maybe.
But there was that moment too when she sees Valak for the first time in the mirror.
Right.
And that's like the same moment in Conjuring 2.
Yeah,
that, like, when
that's right. That's what I alluded to.
And
instead of the painting, it was the mirror.
Yeah, and it was almost like the way she looked.
Sorry,
at it was like
it was.
But no. When she's in the basement and she sees Valak, it's not just the painting.
Okay.
There was a moment in Conjuring 2, she's down in the basement and she sees Valak in the mirror. It's the same, like it almost looked exactly the same in this movie.
And it
but this did do the shadow on the wall walking to the mirror first, like they did on the wall walking to the painting.
Well,
I thought the painting was still more effective than the mirror.
I would even contend, though, that it looked to her, because she's seen so many different things, she did have the look of seeing an evil presence she had witnessed before, maybe, but that's just me.
And then they even say, like, she has these visions and all that stuff, just like Vera.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're not wrong.
And that she thinks that it's like a gift from God.
But Fuego, you never finished what happens with Frenchie. We derailed you.
No, we did. Yeah, well, Frenchie ends up being the one that this evil Maurice, and they don't reveal it until the very end, where she's like, Frenchie, what's your real name?
What's your real name? And he's like, Maurice.
And I didn't even catch what that was until they did the little callback.
They actually call back and show that the film that Ed and Lorraine Warren are showing in The Conjuring 1 is of Maurice.
Yeah, when they're at the university explaining what they do.
Yeah. So it's Maurice that's been possessed, and a cross came from under the skin, and he like has one on the back of his neck at the end of this movie.
Upside down.
That's how it ties in.
So it's not trapped in Taissa.
But no, why would if Taissa's character is supposed to be Vera, then she would have recognized Maurice in that footage.
She may have. Like they
show
that.
Didn't get that.
Well,
they just show it so quick.
Maybe.
They show it so quick.
No, I mean, because Maurice looked exactly the same in that footage, didn't he?
Maybe that's why they were there at the exorcism, because they know Frenchie. They know Frenchie. She knows.
Maurice didn't look 20 years older in that footage.
Well, that's the thing, was that it was not the same actor in Conjuring 1.
No, not in The Conjuring 1. No, they had this guy refilm that scene.
Yeah, they had him refilm
those bits.
Yeah, but they wanted to make you they wanted to make it look enough like Frenchie so that you know that that's Frenchie.
That's true.
Yeah, and the Maurice, they did say Maurice in the original thing.
Well,
they
even said Frenchie. Like I believe in Conjuring.
Well,
I don't remember the first Conjuring very well.
I liked it a lot. I love that movie. Actually, the last time we watched it was when we watched it when we were out at Scarefest. Remember, it came on and we watched it in the hotel room.
Yes, but we caught like the last
everything ties back to the horror show, Fuego.
It does.
All right, guys.
But we spoiled it. I mean, about as much as we.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else we want to spoil? Oh, the top-down angle. Tell what everyone happened when Taissa was in the middle of the nuns.
Oh, we talked about it already.
Yeah, I think we did.
Did we?
Yeah, just at
right at the very beginning. I couldn't contain myself about it, where all the nuns are thrown into the pillars and stuff.
Well, and then we also talked about how there was no nuns there to begin with. We talked about that she even says that. Well, the nuns actually say that at a certain point in the day they take a vow of silence, and then that's when I turned to Jaime and I was just like, why are they talking?
Let me just say,
and that's where I thought that, like I thought the movie was actually a little dumber than it actually was until this review, these couple different bits of discussion where I'm like, oh, so that's why.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm telling you, I don't think we actually mention the fact that she was in the middle of the nuns all praying, and then they get attacked, and the nuns all just get. It's a top-down shot, and the nuns all get shot aside, and they all get, like, some hit the pillar and some hit the wall,
and yet
a couple are left alive.
And yet she was seeing. I mean, honestly, she was just seeing a flashback. I think.
And then we almost get a strip show, where her clothes are torn off from the top,
where Valak was carving the pentagram into her back.
Like these slash marks.
I'm telling you, we didn't talk about it.
We didn't talk about that part.
Yeah,
we didn't talk about that, and yet she just keeps praying and praying and praying, and
that was cool.
Tears start like Tyssa's
so
fucking
good,
act, dude. Ever
I
since
still
Final
don't think
Girls,
I don't think she topped the Final Girls, but I thought she was good here.
She cries good.
She wells up so good.
Almost like the borderline whimper kind of thing, where she's just struggling to keep it together so hard. It's good shit,
so
man.
I don't know, Derk. Any things you want to spoil or anything like that?
We talked about the burial bit. We talked about. I mean, some of the best beats we hit.
Did we actually talk about? Okay, so let's talk about the gory ghost effect. That was the body that they find. They first off the first big eerie thing. Frenchie finds the body.
The birds have been like eating.
The birds have been eating her face, and she has like no skin on the lower half of her face. Yeah. And then when they go back, they see Frenchie's like, okay, I put her in the icebox. And when they go down there, she's sitting up, and he's like, there's something else you should know. When I put her down here, she was laying down. And I was like, yeah, all right.
See, those were the moments that like totally felt
3 or 4 moments. I'm saying
unsettling. It was more unsettling than full on scary.
When she breaks up from the ice later on.
That's what I was saying. When she's like super gory, and she's like, yeah.
Well, there was
like
some. They did the decaying like jaw coming down.
And Frenchie comes in with a bat and knocks the head off.
Frenchie had
great
some funny
practical
quips,
man. I agree with you.
Even the Frenchie moment where he's in the cemetery and then like she comes down, like she hangs herself again, and then she like breaks the rope and then falls on top of him.
And I loved when he picked the cross up and he's like carrying the cross
and
around.
Cut to the bar.
And the good cross is drinking and he's next still got the cross.
Yeah, that was
good.
good.
There were some funny bits.
No, I agree. Look, here's the thing. I 100% acknowledge it was a well-made movie. There were some fun moments, but there was just too much that was stolen from other movies.
Too much retread for you, obviously.
And that I couldn't
from
get
their own
past
movies.
From their own movies and from Demon Knight. I mean, that's aggressively stealing. Literally, your girl swigging Jesus blood and spitting it in the face of your antagonist to defeat it.
I wouldn't be
That is
surprised
just
if
too direct.
Okay, that movie came out 20 plus years ago at this point. Like 20.
I'm sorry I'm old, Fuego.
No, dude, you're like 2 years older than me. Come on. No, I'm saying that whoever co-wrote the whatever guy who co-wrote the script of James Wan, because they collaborated on the story together, there's a good chance that maybe they've never seen Demon Knight. There's people who come up with similar beats that don't directly steal them, dude.
Yeah, it
does happen.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't remember Demon Knight. It wasn't ruined for me. Yeah. I guess it was ruined for you. But I loved the ending. I loved all the.
Watch Demon Knight again. It'll remind you of The Nun.
Yeah. Well, but also
coincidence.
Demon Knight reminds me of From Dusk Till Dawn. You know, in a lot of ways.
Demon Knight was before Dusk Till Dawn.
It was right about the same time.
Yeah,
Dusk Till Dawn was like 95, I want to say.
Demon Knight was like 94.
95, 96.
We're
gonna find out right after we get
Google. All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it for our spoiler discussion. It was all over the place, obviously, but we did hit on all the spoilers. So you guys determine if you want to go see this movie or not. I will say thank you very much to our patrons for supporting the channel. The link is in the description box down below if you want to join our Patreon, as well as the link to our TeePublic site if you want to get some cool horror show shirts like Fuego and I are wearing. But thank you guys very much if you are supporting the channel that way. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
I'm Fuego.
Derk Aaron.
And remember, stay scared!